Picture this for a moment. Early morning, a battlefield still covered in fog. In Europe, a knight is tightening his armor, hearing the sound of metal as he gets ready to ride out for his lord. At the exact same time, far away in Japan, a samurai is calmly tying the silk cords of his armor, taking a breath before stepping into duty. They will never meet, but strangely, their lives follow very similar paths. Both the knight and the samurai grew up in societies built on land and loyalty. They lived in feudal systems where power came from serving someone above you. A knight fought for a king or a lord and was rewarded with land and wealth. A samurai served a daimyo and received rice or land in return. From a very young age, both were trained for one purpose: to fight, to serve, and to represent the highest level of their society. But being a warrior wasn't just about fighting well. What really defined them was how they were expected to live. Samurai followed Bushido, the way of the warrior. Loyalty meant everything, and fear of death was seen as weakness. For a samurai, dying with honor was better than living with shame. Knights, on the other hand, followed a different code. They were taught to protect the weak, stay loyal to their lord, follow their Christian faith, and behave honorably, especially toward women. Suicide was forbidden in Christianity, so a knight was expected to fight until the very end, no matter how hopeless the situation looked. Their differences become even clearer when you look at their equipment. European knights in the late Middle Ages were basically walking tanks. Their armor was made of solid steel plates, heavy and incredibly tough. Samurai armor was lighter, made from small metal and leather pieces tied together with silk cords. This made it more flexible and better suited for Japan's climate. The swords tell the same story. The katana was built for fast, clean cuts. A knight's sword was heavier and designed to smash through armor, not just slice flesh. People often wonder if knights and samurai ever actually met. In movies and games, they fight epic duels, but in real history, that never happened. Still, in the 16th century, something interesting occurred. Portuguese traders and Jesuit missionaries arrived in Japan, bringing European armor with them. Samurai were fascinated by these full steel suits. Some even bought them and adapted the designs to fit Japanese fighting styles. It wasn't a battle between worlds, but a quiet exchange of ideas. There's another side of this story that often gets overlooked: women warriors. In Europe, female knights were extremely rare, with figures like Joan of Arc standing out as exceptions. In Japan, however, there were women known as onabu geisha. They were trained to fight, defended castles, and used weapons like the naginata. They weren't legends, they were real warriors. Now comes the darker part. What happens when a warrior loses his master? In Japan, a samurai without a lord became a ronin. His income disappeared, his social status collapsed, and people looked at him with suspicion. Some ronin became bodyguards or mercenaries. Others turned to poetry, philosophy, or Zen to find meaning. And some, with no better options, turned to crime or rebellion. In Europe, a knight without a lord faced a similar fate. No lord meant no land, and no land meant no income. Many landless knights sold their swords and became mercenaries. Some joined local wars or raids. Others served the church or went on crusades. These independent fighters were sometimes called freelancers, a term that eventually evolved into the modern word freelancer. So when you move past the myths and legends, you start to see the real picture. Knights and samurai were shaped by systems that demanded total loyalty and sacrifice. They lived in different worlds, spoke different languages, and followed different beliefs. But in the end, they were chasing the same idea: how to live with honor in a world built on war.